She's wearing new lingerie. Black lace, a delicate bra with a matching thong. The kind of set I've never seen in her drawer before. I notice it the second she steps out of the bathroom. Light from the hallway skimming over her curves. She stands there in front of the mirror, turning from side to side with a strange mix of confidence and apprehension. And all I can think is, that's not for me. There's a certain tension in her posture, a practiced arch in her back that seems too carefully staged, like she's auditioning for an invisible panel, waiting for a verdict. She looks at me through the reflection. My eyes drop to the floor. She doesn't speak, and neither do I. We haven't been talking much lately, not about anything that matters. I see her mouth open, as if she's about to say something, but she closes it and looks away. Then she flicks off the bathroom light and climbs under the covers beside me. "Good night," she finally whispers, reaching to switch off the lamp on her side. Those two words echo in my skull. They taste bitter in the back of my throat. We lie there, inches apart, under the same sheet, yet separated by an ocean of silence. Outside, the sky stirs with the threat of rain, the wind rattling against the window. It feels like the world is bracing for a storm, and inside me, something is already brewing. I want to ask her about the lingerie. I want to ask why she's never shown it to me, or why I've never even seen the receipt. But I say nothing. I just stare at the pale cracks on the bedroom ceiling until exhaustion overtakes me. I dream of water, floods swirling around my ankles, creeping steadily upward. My father stands on the shore, calling my name, but I can't hear him. I'm drowning. Then I snap awake, heart pounding. She's gone from the bed. The alarm clock reads 3:14 a.m. I hear muffled sounds from the living room. Soft laughter, and then hushed tones. Her voice, urgent but quiet. I slide out of bed, barefoot, creeping down the hallway. It's not a good idea. My head's in a spin. My heart is in my throat. But I have to know. The living room lamp is on, casting a sickly yellow glow that edges around the half-open door. I hear a man's voice, a deep rumble through the static of phone interference. Maybe it's a video call. Maybe it's a late-night show on TV. But I hear her whisper, "No, no, I can talk." He's asleep. My pulse lurches. My stomach drops. I get close enough to see her phone angle so that the camera must be capturing most of her face, her shoulders, that new black breast strap. I'm standing in the hallway, half hidden in the dark, hand pressed to my mouth like it might contain the heavy breath that wants to break loose. She smiles at whoever's on the call. It's a sly, almost conspiratorial grin. I pick up fragments of dialogue. Something about meeting next week. Something about the documents. My own name doesn't come up, but I can feel it hovering unspoken in the air. I should confront her right now, demand an explanation. But my legs refuse to move. I'm shaking, and I hate how weak I feel, how uncertain. Eventually, she says, "Okay, I should go," and ends the call. She sets the phone aside and sits there in the dim light, hair falling over her shoulders, breath slow, like she's relieved. Then she picks up a folder from the coffee table, pages inside that she flips through with quiet intensity. I step back into the hallway shadows before she can see me. My mind's racing, chest tight. If this is a dream, I want to wake up. But the cold tile beneath my feet assures me it's real. The hush of the house, the distant rumble of thunder outside. Real. My wife in the living room, wearing new lingerie in the middle of the night, whispering with some man. Also real. And it's as though the floor is cracking beneath me. I manage to slip back into bed before she returns. I can't sleep. I just stare into darkness until the sky starts to lighten and morning pries open the day. A few hours later, we're sitting at the kitchen table. She's scrolling through her phone, hair still damp from the shower, wearing a loose t-shirt and shorts now. She acts like nothing happened. I keep waiting for her to drop a hint, an apology or an explanation. But she says nothing, busy with her notifications. I can't bring myself to speak. Maybe I'm afraid of the answer. Maybe I'm afraid of my own voice trembling. The day crawls by in slow motion. I bury myself in spreadsheets and financial charts. My job. Numbers are usually a comfort, a predictable language. Today, they're just lines on a page that blur together. My mind replays that moment in the hallway again and again. Her hush, her half-smile. The phone call with some unknown voice. Who is he? Why did she need new lingerie for a phone call in the dead of night? By late afternoon, the sky finally breaks open. Rain pours down, pounding rooftops and flooding gutters. I can see it from my home office window, streaking the glass, smearing the world into gray shapes. It reminds me of that dream. The water rising, unstoppable. Just before dinner, she disappears for an hour. Doesn't say where she's going. Comes back with her hair frizzy from the humidity, eyes sharper, attitude brisk. She barely glances my way. My chest tightens. I want to slam my fist on the table and force a confrontation. But I keep hearing my father's voice in my head, telling me to keep calm, not to lose my composure. That's how I was raised. Keep it together. Don't show your cards. Be a steady man. Well, my father's gone, and I'm starting to think that maybe his calm approach was just a shield for everything he couldn't face, because right now I feel I'm about to burst. A trapped volcano, simmering. At night, she slips into bed without a word. There's no new lingerie this time, just worn cotton pajamas. She doesn't even say good night. We lie there like strangers. Her warmth is inches away, but it might as well be miles. A few days pass, filled with that same tension. I stay late at work, telling myself I'm busy. She claims to have some stand-up gig at a small comedy club near downtown. She's been chasing that dream of comedic recognition for a while, but the real money is meager. We can afford it, so I've never complained. Until now. Tonight, she's performing. I can't stand the thought of smiling politely through her jokes, but I go anyway. Some half-alive sense of duty compels me. I should support my wife. Right? Rain stopped, but the sky's still heavy with clouds. The city is slick with puddles, neon lights glimmering. The club is small and dark, a cramped space with low ceilings and a sticky floor. She's behind the stage curtain, presumably with the other comedians. I find a seat in the back, arms folded over my chest. A bartender cleans glasses, and a scattered audience murmurs. I spot a few of her friends near the front, women I vaguely recognize from dinners or parties. They wave me over, but I decline, wanting my solitude in the shadows. When she comes on stage, there's a smattering of applause. She's wearing a slim-fitting outfit that accentuates her figure. Black jeans, a cropped jacket, a confident stride. She starts her routine with a few typical jokes, observations about living in LA, about the humidity messing her hair. People chuckle politely. Then her tone shifts, her grin turning sharper. She starts talking about important papers, about how some people keep secrets locked in a filing cabinet. But you know what's easier, she says, leaning into the mic. Just find the right bed to crawl into. Then ask for the key. Presto, you've got everything you need. The crowd titters. I feel my pulse thunder in my ears. It's she. She continues, describing playing nice with your spouse just to get access, describing the dance of deception, the long con. She makes it sound comedic. The audience laughs. My stomach twists into a knot. Then she casually shifts into another bit about threesomes, about how it was part of her wild past. She doesn't say we, she says I. And the way she grins, the way she sparkles under the spotlight, it's as if she's enjoying some private, triumphant confession. The more she talks, the more the room echoes with snickers. But my blood is roaring. I can hardly breathe. Her voice in the microphone is the only sound in the world. She glances toward the back, maybe glimpsing me in the dark. For a second, I think she wavers. But she pushes forward, ending the set with a punchline about the best way to find a cheat sheet is to become one. Laughter. Applause. I stand up in the middle of it, my chair scraping. My mind reels. This can't be happening. She's bragging, in a comedic way, about sleeping around for leverage. About a threesome that might or might not be real. It doesn't matter if it's fictional or half true. The crowd is entertained, but I feel nauseous and betrayed. My face feels hot, my chest tight. I lurch toward the exit, ignoring the curious looks from the others. Outside, the night air is thick, a faint drizzle starting again. I pace around the block, fists clenched in my pockets, until I finally head home alone. She shows up an hour later, dropping her keys on the table, looking at me with a strange, unreadable expression. I sit there in the living room, a single lamp on. "Hey," she says. I don't respond. She sets her purse down. Are you okay?" I just stare at the flickering reflection of the lamp in the window. The city lights beyond. "Look." She tries again, stepping closer. "I told jokes. That's all. It's not personal." That last line snaps something in me. I shoot to my feet, the coffee table squeaking as I bump it. Not personal. I want to roar, but the words stick in my throat. My face contorts, and I realize I'm shaking with suppressed anger. She flinches. "Mark." I hold up a hand, as if to block her from coming closer. My mind is too crowded with images, her silhouette in new lingerie, that late-night phone call, the brazen jokes about sex and secrets. There's no room in my chest for words. I'm a bomb about to detonate, and I'm trying so hard not to blow the entire room to pieces. She sighs, exasperated. "Can we talk about it later? It's late." And I'm exhausted. Again, all I can manage is a mute glare. She throws her hands up. "Fine. Good night." She walks away to the bedroom, leaves me standing there, fists clenched, eyes burning. She took the lead in the conversation, minimal though it was, and left me speechless. Maybe I hate her for that. Maybe I hate myself for letting it happen. The next morning, I confront her in the kitchen. My questions, though short and stumbling, bubble out in a low hiss of frustration. "What was that about? You humiliating me on stage? Do you have some plan?" She's rifling through the pantry, looking for coffee beans. She flips her hair over her shoulder. "You said you wanted me to be honest in my comedy, so I was." People laughed. It's my job. It's such a dismissive, shallow explanation that I feel my jaw tighten. I can't hold her gaze. My chest feels like a furnace about to explode. She's all sarcasm, and half shrugs. I want to shout 1,000 accusations. The phone call, the folder, the lingerie. But nothing coherent comes out. I clamp my mouth shut, practically grinding my teeth. She glances at me as if she's bored. Then she sets down the coffee can. "I need to go," she says. "I've got to meet some friends." She slips on her jacket, not even waiting for a response. The door closes behind her. That leaves me alone with my fury, my confusion, and the distinct feeling that I don't matter in my own home. I pace the living room, the same place I saw her that night. Phone in hand. The sofa. The dim lamp. The memory of her hush, her secretive smile. Something breaks inside me. I call her closest girlfriends. That's the last line of the synopsis, right? I normally wouldn't do this. I hate bringing outsiders into our private matters. But I can't keep it bottled up. I call them all, one by one. Maybe I hope they'll confirm I'm not crazy, that something's off with her. Maybe I just want company in my misery. Surprisingly, they all come over. They show up at the house, glancing around the living room like they expect drama. And drama's exactly what they get, because half an hour later, my wife returns. She sees them there, huddled around me, listening to me vent in broken, seething words about betrayal, about her late-night calls, her stand-up routine, her talk of sleeping around for important papers. I see the shock in their eyes. They didn't know it was that deep. She stands at the doorway, her lips pressed together into a thin line. Tension crackles in the air. She tries to make a joke. So is this an intervention? Her voice is forced, with that edgy, comedian's lilt. But no one laughs. They all look to me, not to her. For the first time, maybe she's the outsider in her own circle. I see how her eyes tighten, how her cheeks flush with a mix of anger and embarrassment. I lay out everything in a quiet, methodical tone, describing the phone call I overheard, the suspicious folder, the mocking routine at the club. With every word, I feel my chest tighten, like I'm ripping out pieces of my own heart and holding them up for inspection. I can feel her trying to cut in, but I keep going until I'm done. Then I fall silent, slumping back into my chair, as though the last bit of air has left my lungs. No one looks at her. They're waiting for her to say something. But for once, she doesn't have a witty remark. She stands there, arms folded across her chest. I see the panic in her eyes. She tries to grin, but it falters. She's cornered. She can't spin a comedic routine out of this. I watch her grip the doorframe, her knuckles white. She's lost. She can't fool them anymore, can't turn them into an audience waiting for a punchline. Finally, one of her friends says quietly, "Why would you do that to him?" My wife flinches. She tries a retort, but it comes out tangled. It's not what you think. No one buys it. The room is thick with condemnation. Even her best friends look at her as if they hardly know her. Slowly, they shuffle toward me, as if forming a protective circle. She stands on the outskirts. I catch a glimpse of something in her expression. Fear, anger, regret. But it's fleeting. Eventually, the tension becomes unbearable. One by one, they leave, giving me awkward hugs or nods of sympathy. She's left by the door, chewing on her lip, arms locked across her middle. She tries to joke again. "Well, guess that's that," she mutters, but no one answers. Then she storms to the bedroom, slamming the door behind her. I'm left alone. The house is too still, too quiet after that scene. I should be relieved that I finally spoke out, but I feel hollow. The father in my head scolds me. What did you expect from this? Did it fix anything? And I can't answer, because I don't know. Night falls. She emerges from the bedroom eventually, eyes puffy like she's been crying. She lingers in the hallway, glancing at me with unsteady eyes. "Mark," she begins, voice trembling. I raise my hand again, the same gesture as before. I can't bear to hear her half-formed excuses. My throat is so tight I can barely swallow. I think about all the years we spent together. Birthdays, family gatherings, dinners where we quietly planned our future. And I can't reconcile that with the woman I saw on stage, laughing at my expense, or the woman I saw flipping through secret documents in black lace. Something inside me cracks. She steps closer. I can smell her shampoo, that faint floral scent. "Please," she whispers, "just let me explain." But I don't want an explanation. I want to unfeel the betrayal. I want to be the man I was before this all started. And I know that's impossible. My eyes burn. My chest is so heavy. I walk into the living room, slump onto the couch, bury my face in my hands. She comes after me, stands there, arms rigid at her sides. Her voice is quiet. "I needed those papers, my old contract with a promoter. I did something stupid. I got involved with someone who said he helped me get bigger gigs if I gave him the right leads. And She stops, perhaps seeing how my body tenses. "What leads?" I croak, finally finding a single word. She hesitates. "There's a journalist," she mutters. I told him I could get some financial records, stuff you had about your clients, your company's expansions. He said it would be valuable. Maybe a big story about corruption or insider deals. He's the one on the phone at night. He's the one who asked me to check if you had anything worth selling. My head spins, a wave of nausea hitting me. "You used me." She looks like she might collapse. I wasn't going to actually give him anything. I wanted his connections, his help to get on bigger stages. He told me he'd pay me. He implied that, if I wanted an advantage, I could sleep with him. I finish, my mouth bitter. I think back to her stand-up lines. Find the right bed. Get the key. She doesn't deny it. Tears slipped down her cheeks. I met him. Yes, it happened once. It was a stupid choice. I hated myself, but all I see is red. My heart hammers so hard my ribs feel bruised. So it wasn't just jokes, I say, my voice sounding empty and hollow. You really, God. She nods, tears dropping onto her shirt. I'm sorry, she says, her voice hoarse. He convinced me. I thought I could control it. I thought it might jumpstart my career. She rubbed her arms like she's freezing. I never meant to hurt you, but it's all unraveling now. I can't form words. My throat is thick with hatred, heartbreak, and something else. Guilt? Why guilt? I didn't do anything. But somehow, I feel shame, as if I caused her dissatisfaction, as if I wasn't enough for her. She steps closer. I recoil. I told him no more, she murmurs. I didn't give him anything real. But he's still pushing. He wants. He thinks I have more to offer. My vision tunnels. I can't even look at her. I stand, pushing past her, heading for the door. She calls my name, but I walk out into the night. Rain is pouring again. I let it soak me, head bowed, shoulders tight, as I stride down the sidewalk. My shoes fill with water, my clothes cling to my skin. Cars splash through puddles. I barely notice. All I can feel is that wave of betrayal, swirling with my own sense of failure. My father's gone, so I can't ask him what to do. My mother's far away in Texas, and I sure as hell can't lay this on her. I have no siblings. I have no kids to console me. It's just me in this storm. Lightning flashes. In that brief glare, I see my reflection in a shop window. Rain dripping from my hair, eyes hollow. I wonder who I am now. When I finally come back home, I'm numb and exhausted. She's lying awake on the couch, waiting for me. Her eyes are red, and she looks up with hope, maybe expecting some miracle apology or acceptance. But I feel hollow. I sink into an armchair, my clothes still damp, the water seeping into the upholstery. She opens her mouth to speak. I can't do it. I can't listen to more. I raise my palm again, the universal stop gesture, and her voice wilts. We sit in silence for what could be hours. Eventually, I stand and go to the bedroom, leaving her there. I strip off my wet clothes, throw them on the floor, and collapse onto the bed in the darkness. Sleep offers no respite. Nightmares swirl, memories of her jokes, of her in that black lace for someone else, him smirking in the background, speaking in a smoky baritone. I toss and turn, fighting the sheets like they're strangling me. The next few days, I operate on autopilot. I go to work. I pretend to be normal. She tries to talk to me in the mornings, but I can't. The only words I manage are short, harsh demands. Don't. Stop. No. She's frantic, wanting to fix things, but I shut her out. Inside, I'm spinning, questioning everything. My worth, my identity. She used our marriage as currency, even if she regrets it now. She let some journalist into our private life, gave him access to me, to my trust. I feel sick every time I look at her. And I hate that a part of me still loves her, or at least loves the person she was, or pretended to be. One evening, she tries to corner me again in the kitchen. I'm rinsing dishes, my reflection in the metal faucet warped and watery. She steps up behind me, places a hand on my arm. I tense, waiting for the old spark, but all I feel is revulsion. I yank my arm free. "Mark, please," she says, voice trembling. "I know you hate me right now, but can we at least talk? Or let's go to counseling or something. I made a mistake. I admit it. I'll do anything." I turn off the faucet, droplets falling in a hollow plink. Still, I don't speak. I just turn and walk away, heading to my office. My silence is my only shield. If I start yelling, I might never stop. The father in my head begs me to keep calm, but calm is killing me. I feel like I'm dying from the inside out. Another night arrives. She's scheduled to do another stand-up set, but she cancels it. She doesn't leave the house. She stays in the living room, occasionally flicking through channels, restless. Her phone keeps buzzing, probably that journalist. I feel the tension crawling up my neck. Something has to give. Finally, around 10, my phone rings. It's a number I recognize. One of the clubs where she sometimes performs. The manager is calling me. Confused, I pick up. But a female voice greets me, one of her friends who works there. She warns me that my wife's name is being tossed around in rumors. Something about legal trouble, hush money, stolen financial records. The journalist is bragging that he's got a big scoop, and my wife is his source. The friend says she's just giving me a heads up. It's about to blow up. I whisper a shaky thank you and hang up, a cold dread seizing my gut. If that story breaks, it could ruin my career, or at least tarnish my reputation. I could become a laughingstock, the gullible husband who let confidential files slip. Worse, the company might suspect I was complicit. I feel a surge of panic. Could my entire life unravel because of her misguided ambition? I march into the living room. She looks up, eyes wide, as if she senses the storm. I glare at her, my chest heaving. Is this how you repay me? I demand, voice quivering. Is this your big comedic punchline? She leaps to her feet, tears springing to her eyes. No, I swear, I never gave him anything. He's bluffing. I promise. I took pictures of meaningless stuff, old receipts, random spreadsheets. He's the one who thinks they're major intel. Please, Mark, you have to believe me. I don't believe her. I don't believe anything. My mind is on fire. He's out there, telling people you're his source. My boss might see it. I could lose my job, my credibility. Do you get that? My voice shakes so badly it cracks. She nods, tears sliding down her cheeks. I messed up. I know. It hits me then. This is the rest of my life if I stay. Always cleaning up her betrayal, always dreading the next step. My father's quiet stoicism would say, work through it. Keep your head up. Honor your vows. But I feel I'm drowning, and no vow is worth suffocating in a sea of lies. I storm into the bedroom, dig through the closet for a suitcase. She follows me, begging. No, Mark, wait. Please, we can fix this. Don't go. I zip up the suitcase with trembling hands, stuffing clothes in haphazardly. My mouth is dry, eyes burning. She stands behind me, voice breaking, trying to reason, trying to plead. Don't do this. Don't throw everything away. I wheel the suitcase toward the door. She blocks me, arms outstretched, tears streaming. Stay, she sobs. Let's talk. Let's fix it. I look into her eyes, puffy and desperate, and a bitter ache grips my chest. I can't, I whisper, my voice barely audible. I brush past her and leave. The rain has stopped outside, but everything is wet and glistening under the streetlights. I load the suitcase into my car, get in, and drive. I don't know where I'm going. Maybe a motel, maybe my old friend's place. I just know I can't be under the same roof with her. My phone buzzes with repeated calls from her. I silence it. My throat is thick with tears I can't let out. I pass by rows of palm trees, their trunks slick from the rain. Downtown lights sprawl across the horizon. Something inside me is unraveling, and the city's neon haze feels like a reflection of my own chaotic mind. Eventually, I find a cheap motel with a flickering vacancy sign. I check in, not caring about the battered carpets or the stale smell. Inside the tiny room, I drop onto the bed. My shirt is damp from stress sweat. My face is hot. I grip my phone, stare at it, consider calling my mother. But I can't bring myself to do it. She'd ask too many questions, and my father's not around to give fatherly advice. I'm on my own. I lie there in the darkness, the hum of the air conditioner rattling. Shadows flicker on the ceiling. My mind sifts through everything. Her comedic routine, her phone call, that black lace, her confession of sleeping with him for access. My chest constricts with suffocating pain. Then numbness sets in. Who am I now, if not her husband? We have no kids, so there's no small face that depends on me. The financial security I built was for both of us. Now, I'm alone in this dingy motel, trying to piece together a future that doesn't feel like a farce. Eventually, sleep claims me, shallow and restless. Morning brings no clarity. I drag myself to the office, skipping a shave, tie askew. My reflection in the glass door shows a man on the edge. My coworkers notice my dark circled eyes, but no one asks. I bury myself in tasks, just to hold the panic at bay. Around noon, I get a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answer. It's him, the journalist. His voice is a low rasp. Look, man, I'm sorry it ended like this. But this story, it's bigger than you or her. I need those documents. She implied you have them. Maybe the financial data on your high-profile clients. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. My stomach churns. I have nothing for you. He chuckles, a humorless sound. Sure you do. But if you won't help me, I'll run with what I have. And that includes mentioning your wife. You, maybe your company name, might cause a scandal. Are you sure you want that? I lean back in my office chair, the ceiling fluorescent glaring down. Go to hell, I say, my voice shaking. I hang up before he can reply. Then I sit there, nauseated, adrenaline pounding in my veins. I realize I'm gripping the phone so hard my knuckles ache. I can't do it anymore. This feeling of being threatened, manipulated, it's destroying me. That evening, I decide to take a bold step. I schedule a meeting with my company's legal counsel. If there's a storm coming, I want them to know I had nothing to do with it. They hear me out, eyebrows climbing with each sentence. They reassure me that I did the right thing by coming clean. If some investigative story breaks, we'll handle it. I leave the meeting exhausted, but with a flicker of relief. Outside, I stand by my car in the parking lot, the warm Los Angeles air pressing down. My phone rings again. It's her. I consider ignoring it, but I can't quite let go. I answer. Mark, she says, voice raw. I'm so sorry. Look, I know you hate me. I just wanted you to know I'm leaving the house tonight. I'll stay with someone else. Give you space. But please, can we meet and talk? Just once more. I close my eyes. My father would have told me to hold my dignity. But I find myself nodding, alone in the parking lot. Tomorrow, I murmur. She sniffles. Thank you. I meet her at a small diner the next day. One of those old-style places with vinyl booths and laminated menus. She's there first, sitting in a corner booth, eyes red-rimmed, hair flat. She looks smaller somehow, less certain of herself. I slide into the seat across from her. Neither of us says anything. The waitress hovers, uncertain, then leaves us with water. Finally, she breaks the silence. I'm sorry, she whispers. I don't have any better words. I messed up your life, my life. I wanted so badly to succeed as a comedian, to find an angle that would make me stand out. He told me it was easy, that if I gave him info, or if I... She falters. I'm not proud of it. I stare at the condensation on my water glass. My voice is cold. You think that changes anything? Her eyes spill more tears. No, but you deserve the truth. My jaw tightens. I heard enough of the truth. You used me. You slept with him. You turned your stand-up act into a twisted confession. I exhale a bitter laugh. I'm not sure what else there is to say. She nods, tears running. Then she scrubs them away with the back of her hand. I have no justification. I just wanted to say I won't fight a divorce, if that's what you want. I won't drag this out. I gaze at her. Strangely, that doesn't bring me relief. It just feels heavy. Divorcing her might free me from the legal tangle, from the emotional nightmare, but it can't erase the shame, the betrayal. It can't restore who I was before. Everything is tangled in a haze of confusion, regret, and a sense that I'd lost myself along the way. She lowers her eyes. Anyway, that's all. I'll let you. I cut her off. I'm not filing for divorce. She looks up, startled. What? The words pour out of me before I can fully process them. I'm filing for my own freedom. My voice cracks. You do whatever you want. Keep my name. Throw it away. I don't care. But I won't be chained to this fiasco anymore. I'm leaving. Not just the house. I'm leaving you behind. If you want to finalize a divorce, that's on you. I'm beyond the point of caring about legal terms. My hands tremble around the glass. I don't want revenge in the form of lawyers. I want to never have to see you or think of you again. She blinks, stunned. Mark, that's... I stand, cutting her off. My chest is heaving with a mixture of sorrow and anger. I toss a few bills on the table for the water I didn't even sip. We're done, I say softly. That's my freedom. I walk out, each step echoing with a finality I didn't anticipate. My emotions swirl. Grief, relief, guilt, numbness. But somehow, in that swirl, there's a tiny spark of clarity. I'm done letting her define me. I'm done being the man who stands in the shadows while she monologues at the mic. I gather my things from the motel, ignoring the stale odor that clings to my shirt. I call a realtor friend, telling him I'm looking for a small apartment or condo to rent. Quick. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just a place I can claim as my own. The emptiness inside me is vast, but at least I have a direction. Over the next week, I sign a short-term lease. It's a modest one-bedroom with peeling paint and an air conditioner that rattles. But it's mine, separate from her. My phone rings with unknown numbers. Probably the journalist. I let them go to voicemail. The house that used to be ours is empty except for her. I don't care what she does with it. My final gesture is to send a text. I've taken my personal belongings. Keep the rest or sell it. I'm done. I can't say I'm happy. There's no clean euphoria. I'm just less weighed down. Some nights, I still see her face, hear her laughter at the comedy club, or recall the flush on her cheeks when she admitted sleeping with him. A fresh stab of pain, then it recedes. Weeks pass. The scandal from that journalist never fully materializes. He must have realized that the documents were worthless. No big story breaks about my clients or my firm. I stay vigilant, keep my distance, focus on my job, quietly rebuild my battered reputation. My colleagues never directly ask, but I see the question in their eyes. Where's your wife? I just shrug. The father in me, my father's memory, would say keep it quiet, keep it respectable. For once, that approach feels right. I want no more drama. One evening, I find myself on my old basketball court, the local park near my new place. The sunset glows red and gold across the horizon. I dribble a ball, feeling the texture under my palm, letting muscle memory take over. I shoot a few hoops, the ball swishing through the net. My chest loosens with each shot. It's as if some part of me, the boy who used to play with his dad, is stirring. A simpler, younger self who believed in trust and hope. I wonder if that part of me can come back. I realize I'm not sure who I am now without her. I'm not the dutiful husband, not the naive partner who trusted her jokes and her half-truths. I'm not the father's son, neatly following advice. I'm alone, forging a new path with shaky steps. But the sun sets anyway, lighting the sky in fiery colors, reminding me that endings can be bright, not just dark. Eventually, the light fades, and I gather my stuff. Before I leave, I stand there on the asphalt. A wave of emotion rolls through me. I drop the basketball and let out a low, ragged exhale. I feel tears sting my eyes, but they don't quite fall. Just the tightness in my throat, the ache in my chest. My father's gone, my marriage is over, and the future is uncertain. Yet I'm still here, heart beating, chest rising and falling with breath after breath. Maybe that's what freedom is, the raw, terrifying sense that you can shape your destiny now, alone, whether you want to or not. So I walk away under the streetlights, carrying my own burdens, forging my own direction, with no illusions left. The taste of rain lingers in the air. I close my eyes for a moment, feeling the asphalt beneath my feet, the hush of the night around me. And I whisper, quietly, to nobody in particular, "Good night." But this time, it feels different, because I know I'll wake up tomorrow as someone new, someone free.